Sharon, I've just had the most gorgeous man reading my meter. Tom Cruise's eyes, Will Carling's smile.
Kevin Costner's bum.
Honestly, they do put them in some daft places.
Oh, I don't know, though.
Hello. Again.
Don't you ever stop?
Only to get my breath back.
Honestly, she's got a one-track mind.
Nothing a cold shower won't cure.
I've always had a soft spot for men in uniform.
And out of uniform, and all, I shouldn't wonder. See ya.
Cheers.
À bientôt. Oh, look at that rear. Like 2 peaches inside a handkerchief.
Yeah, you can't beat a nice bum. My Chris may have been a complete washout as a human being, but he had a great little bot on him.
Marcus thinks his is spreading, but I've told him size isn't everything.
Trace, is that you?
No, it's Santa Claus. I've had it with coming down chimneys.
All right, you sarky mare.
I ain't being sarky. I come bearing gifts.
Oh, what are we celebrating?
Probably just clinched Maidstone Prison's Soppiest Wife of the Year award.
I ain't been to Maidstone, clever clogs.
Yes, you have. Why else would you be in your best gear?
Oh, to meet a man, of course.
That's your answer to everything, isn't it, doll? A man.
Well, that or a box of Belgian truffles and the latest Jilly Cooper.
Perhaps Dorian's right for a change.
Tracy, you dark horse.
Well, why else would I have bought this champagne?
I knew this would happen. You've met another fella and you've fallen in love and he's moving in here and you won't want me around anymore. I'll end up in Cardboard City. Or else you'll move in with him, I'll have to pay the mortgage on this place and I'll go bankrupt and I'll still end up in Cardboard City.
What's a job, you lemon?
You mean I won't have to move out?
The man I met is the sales manager of Latimer's Commercial Offset Printers, and I am now his secretary. Temporary for now, but you never know.
What about my bookkeeping?
Sharon.
Congratulations, Tracy. I'm dead proud of you, Tracy. What about your bookkeeping?
Well, if you've got a job, who's going to do the caff accounts?
Sharon.
I will, on a Sunday morning, like I always do. Now, say something nice or you'll get this bottle of bubbly right up your debit column.
Congratulations, Trace. I'm dead proud of you.
So, what's this sales manager like? Grey quilted shoes and a Bobby Charlton hairdo?
His name's Bill Steele and he's late 30s and he looks a bit like that newsreader with the twinkly eyes.
Moira Stewart.
Michael Pratt, you Burke. I mean Burke, you Pratt.
I've always liked Michael Burke. He talks about the recession with such humanity.
So you'll be having this twinkly-eyed boss of yours up behind the filing cabinets before you can say, take a letter, Miss Stubbs.
You always have to lower the tone, don't you?
Only if Dorian don't get there first.
He's married, I'm married. He's the boss, I'm the secretary. All right, now let's party.
You!
Green fingers too, eh?
I reckon your last secretary was trying to grow fag-ends in it.
Is there no end to your talents?
Well, I did forget to cancel your meeting with George Bannerman last week.
Yeah, but I got a £2 order out of it, didn't I, eh? What a pair, eh?
I better get on with that report if you want it for tomorrow.
So, how you settling in?
It's terrific. I'm really grateful to you for taking me on when you could have had some Kylie clone straight out of college.
I've had it with brainless bimbos in lycra miniskirts that leave nothing to the imagination.
I know. Some of the skirts my Garth's girlfriends wear, I've got hairbands wider. Oh, God, I've turned into me mother.
Either you're lying about your son's age...
I'm not honest. He's 18 next birthday.
or you had him when you were 7. Now, which is it?
I always thought at 18 I'd be working as a PA up west, sharing a flat with an air hostess and driving down King's Road in a sports car, not washing out nappies under a cold tap in Tottenham. My Garth did put the mockers on my career, which is why it's great to have one now.
And it's great to have you here. I like a woman who's been around and knows how to handle a bloke like me.
The Hargreaves order. Frank wants your valued opinion.
Got out of someone else's bed the wrong side this morning, Sheila?
Listen, Anne and I are going up the Feathers lunchtime if you fancy coming.
Oh, I can't. I've got to finish this report.
Tracy's very conscientious. I can spell that for you if you need to look it up in a dictionary.
Don't bother. We don't get much call for long words on reception.
Blimey. Who's rattled her cage?
Steer well clear of that one, Tracy. She's not known as Sheila Blige for nothing.
Trace, I'm on tenterhooks. I ain't been so excited since I last watched paint dry.
Here I come. Do you reckon it's OK? Only they said I could take it back if it clashed with the bride's outfit.
What bride's outfit?
Oh, you know what I'm like. I can't take something back unless I make up this big story as to why it might be unsuitable.
Unsuitable? Boom, boom! Look, just do what I do. Say you bought it for someone and they died.
Look, I know it's a bit extravagant, blowing me first wage packet on some new gear, but I need some proper work clothes.
Oh, it's no skin off my nose what you do with your dosh. You earned it, so you spend it.
Well, what about the skirt?
What about it?
You don't think it's too short, do you? I don't want the world and his wife getting an eyeful of my jacksie.
I've seen you wear a lot shorter. Remember that dress you bought to see the Osmonds at Wembley? You could have corrupted little Jimmy every time you crossed your...
It's just I don't want to look like a brainless bimbo.
You won't. You're too old.
What do you reckon?
I reckon it's a blouse, Trace. Yeah, definitely. It's the two sleeves and the buttons what give it...
I want it to go with a suit, which it will as long as I don't take the jacket off. Well, I can't, can I? Well, I suppose I could if I put one of those cami things or a slip underneath it.
What is your problem?
It's a bit see-through.
I meant, what's with the Mavis Riley impersonation? It's just clothes.
I only wanted your opinion.
Yeah, me, who last week had, and I quote, about as much style as a colourblind bag lady.
I just wanted to be sure I look businesslike. Watching LA Law every week don't exactly prepare you for a Palmer's green printers.
But you've got a great little figure, so flaunt it. And what if your blouse is a bit see-through? Your bra ain't grey and held together with blue tack like mine, is it? So stick a sock in it. Not your bra, your gob.
Tracy's with his lordship. Does she know you're here?
No, thought I'd surprise her. All right, is he, this Bill bloke?
Oh, terrific. If you like your fellas with permanent hardware.
Shao, what are you doing here?
Thought I'd catch you lift home. You all right, Trace?
I'm fine. Just pleased to see you. This is my Sharon. This is my sister.
It's my pleasure.
I bet it is.
Your sister's turning out to be the best secretary I've ever had.
How many have you had?
I promised I'd give Sharon a lift to the doctors, didn't I, Shao?
The doctors, yeah, that's right. It's me eyes, you see. Sometimes I can't see what's going on. And other times it all becomes crystal clear. And tell Dorian what he did then.
Well, he was explaining the difference between offset printing and desktop publishing.
And we all know what he likes to do on top of desks.
And then he showed me this brochure as an example.
And tell Dorian what kind of brochure it was.
I wonder if Perry Mason might just let the witness speak for herself.
Objection overruled.
It was for naughty underwear and sex toys and stuff.
Did it have by appointment to Dorian Green on the cover?
I have never ordered intimate appliances from a brochure in my life. They're gifts from admirers.
And I just said, haven't they done it nice? Meaning the printing, only he thought I meant what they were selling.
And he had her there for half an hour, asking her what kind of knickers she wears and has she ever done it in a stationery cupboard. You'd have loved it.
He did what?
You heard. You're getting off on all this, ain't ya?
This I simply cannot tolerate. This is intolerable.
Janet Regers must be too tight. The woman snapped.
How dare he sexually harass an employee like that?
Dorian, you're such an hypocrite.
No, Sharon. I'm a feminist.
Oh, and Norman Lamont's good at sums. What about that gas man last week? You was all over him like a rash.
Well, that was different. That was reciprocated.
Cobblers!
That was a bit of harmless badinage to bring a smile to the face.
And a buzz to the loins.
The men I flirt with, are all willing. I wouldn't do it if they weren't.
Tell that to the gardener. You wouldn't let out your potting shed.
No, mutual attraction is one thing. Unwanted advances from someone exploiting a position of power is a different matter altogether.
So what do I do?
You're only a temp. Kick him in the ghoulies and sling your hook.
Ignore her, Tracy. She's speaking out of her rear end.
OK, Miss Burn Your Bra. What do you suggest?
Well, I suggest that slinging your hook is an admission of guilt.
But I ain't done nothing, and we really need the money.
Precisely. Plus, it'll be a victory for that skunk of a boss if you do leave. And he'll whip out his brochure at the next temp, and the next, and the next.
So what's your plan? Paint his privates fluorescent pink? Publicly expose him in Lakeside Shopping Centre?
It's a thought, isn't it?
It's only a bit of office fun, and I don't mind. And I'd like to do that job permanently. So would you please keep your big noses out of my business? I don't need you two interfering in my life.
She does.
So what's new your side of the barbed wire?
Garthy's got a thing about a girl called Melody. Sharon's got a thing about chocolate chip ice cream. And I've got a job.
She ain't pregnant, is she?
Melody?
No, Sharon. I mean, craving weird food all the time.
If that's a symptom, Sharon's been pregnant since 1960.
So what's this new job then?
Temporary secretary.
Who to?
The sales manager of a printers in Palmer's Green.
Oh. Well, what's he like, this sales manager? Yuppie, I suppose.
Daryl, yuppies don't exist no more. It's all Essex men and classless societies now.
Typical, innit? My era finally arrives and I spend it at Her Majesty's pleasure.
His name's Bill, and he's youngish and nice-looking, and if you don't want me to work for him because he might fancy me, well, not that he does, but if he did, then I'd understand.
Why'd you say that?
Because I know how jealous you get. And I don't fancy him or nothing, but if you didn't want me to work for a nice-looking bloke like him while you're banged up in here, then I'd have to respect your wishes, wouldn't I?
Don't be daft. I'm dead proud of you.
Are you?
Yeah. Well, look at you. You couldn't change a plug before I got nicked. Now you're running a home, you're bringing up Garthy. Now you're holding down a job. And I've changed too, Tracy. I'm not going to let myself get jealous of every bloke you meet out there. It hurts you and it plays havoc with my digestion. Mind you, that could be the treacle tart they serve in here.
So you don't want me to give up the job? You know I would if you said so.
Of course not. You stick at it, girl. There's no substitute for hands-on experience.
Dinner is served. Can't have you working late without showing you how grateful I am.
Vilna and Louise? Terrific. What's it about, anyway?
It's about two women throwing off the shackles of male oppression and taking to the road in search of sanctuary, in search of themselves.
Can't you get nothing with Patrick Swayze in it?
No, we've seen them all 12 times. In fact, they won't let me hide Dirty Dancing anymore. I've worn it out.
Don't you reckon we should wait for Tracy?
No. She knows the main feature starts at 7:30. She's obviously got something far more exciting to do than to be a couch potato with us. And action.
It's a bit heavy on the garlic, isn't it? Still, as long as we're both eating it. Oh, go on, it's open now. Blokes are like wine bottles, you know, Tracy. Uncork them, and you just got to carry on till they're finished.
Look, I better go. I'm expected.
What, but that miserable-looking sister of yours? I'll tell you, love, you've got the looks and the brains in your family.
Look, it's very nice of you and everything, but she'll have my dinner ready.
Wouldn't hurt her to miss a meal or two. Besides, I was thinking we might make a night of it.
What do you mean?
Why don't we let Latimer's flexible friend treat us to coffee and brandies at the moat house?
I shouldn't drink and drive.
No problem. I can book us a room if we need to sleep it off. Besides, it's going to be a while before you check into a three-star hotel again with your Derek.
Daryl.
Daryl, sorry. Hey, I'm not passing any moral judgments here. I mean, he's done the crime, he's doing the time, but, well, he hasn't been under your duvet for a few years, has he? And I bet no one else has either. Am I right or am I right? Let your hair down. Live it up a bit. You deserve it, love. Besides, if you want this job permanent, we ought to get to know each other better. Make sure we don't rub up against each other. In the workplace, of course.
I just remembered, your wife rang this afternoon to say could you pick up some Pampers on your way home?
I expect she's got some herself by now. Very resourceful, Maureen. Well, you have to be when your husband works late so often.
Very trusting and all, poor cow.
Don't you worry yourself about her. She gets on with her life. You know, the kids, her pottery classes, and I get on with mine. OK, so I play away once in a while. But why saddle a wonderful woman like her with the knowledge that she doesn't satisfy me physically, you see? I'm very sensitive like that.
Ain't you just?
So, what do you say?
I'll say some other time, eh? Pizza's giving me a headache. I think I'm allergic to the anchovies. Or it could be the olives. Although Sharon reckons it's the melted cheese, because Welsh rabbits never agreed with me.
Begging for it.
What a film, eh?
It was my story. It was all about me.
No, it weren't. The only similarity between you and Thelma is that you both checked out the contents of some young bloke's Levi's. He was a cracker, weren't he?
Reminded me of Luke. Shall we hang on to it an extra day so Tracy can see it?
Yeah. We might just jolt her into doing something about that tow rag she works for.
And male chauvinist pigs might fly.
I mean, what is it with Trace? I love her and everything, but sometimes she can be a right gonk.
Well, if she won't do anything about Bill, perhaps we should.
We could always do what Thelma and Louise did.
What, drive off a cliff?
Blow up his car, like they did to that dirty trucker.
Sharon, this is Chigwell, not the Badlands of Dakota.
We could plaster Palmer's Green with posters telling women what a scumbag he is.
And pay astronomical libel damages for the pleasure. Oh, that would really hurt him, wouldn't it?
What are we going to do? Trace should be enjoying this job. Instead, she leaves here every morning looking like she's a Meldon Marxist shoeshine girl.
Perhaps we should respect her wishes. It's her problem, not ours.
Trace, you've just missed a blinding video. We can watch it again if you want.
I don't want to watch no stupid video. I'm going to bed.
How much Semtex does it take to blow up the average car?
Will you stop it, Shal?
I ain't doing nothing. Except wondering if I couldn't just manage another slice of toast. Hint, hint.
You know what you're doing.
What? Chewing with my mouth open? Getting Marge in the marmalade?
Telling me to sling the hook at Latimer's.
I ain't said a word.
You don't have to. Your body language has just given me an earful.
Well, perhaps me and my body agree on this one. I mean, look at you.
Yeah? What?
When you started this job, you was happy. You was confident. You dressed nice. Now you look like me.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yes, you do. You're dressing all frumpy because you think it's your fault that Bill can't keep his privates private. You think wearing a baggy jumper and trousers will put him off. Well, it won't, Trace. Blokes like Bill wouldn't be put off if he was wrapped head to toe in cooking foil. In fact, I bet it'd turn him on.
Well, what else can I do? He thinks no means yes. He probably thinks naff off and die means yes, yes, yes.
I know you. You ain't going to do anything, are you?
I will, Shal. In my own time. I will. Well, let me fight my own battles.
What? Like Pamela Jenkins in the Brownies when she kept pulling your hair and calling you rat's tails?
Well, I would have sorted her out if you hadn't got there first.
You'd have told her, sticks and stones may break my bones, but names will never hurt me. It was my punch out the bracket what sorted her out.
And got us kicked out the Brownies.
Right. So it was a winner on 2 counts, weren't it? Look, you can't let him walk all over your, Trace.
Who says I will?
I do.
Feeling yourself again?
Yes, thanks.
I could feel yourself with you sometime. You see, Tracy, what makes me a good sales manager is I pick my target and I go for it. And I don't let up till I've got it. Now, if you want this job permanent, you better understand that.
Oh, I understand all right.
So you won't mind working late again tonight?
Area manager's in reception for you.
Thank you, Sheila. You're looking particularly lovely today. See you later, Tracy.
That's it. I've had it. Anne, it's Tracy. It's just gone. Are you ready? OK. You coming?
Oh, I'd love to. But I've got to sort all this lot out by 2.
So that's Bill.
That's Bill.
Doesn't look a bit like Michael Burke.
But he's about to get his clammy claws into some other poor cow. Let's follow him, Dor.
And as I'm sure you've seen from our sales figures, Latimer's are one of the more successful companies in the group.
Actually, they're third from the bottom, but who's counting?
I never knew throwing off the shackles of male oppression could be such fun.
Thelma and Louise will be proud of us.
And of course, I really think we're going to come into our own during the next financial year.
Do you? Why's that?
Gut instinct, Ms. Dawson. Or may I call you Vanessa?
It's Valerie. And no, you can't.
And of course, once we're through the recession, we can... Tracy, what are you doing here?
Oh, I had to come. It's urgent.
Sorry, I'm to Maureen.
Maureen's fine. I've told her you'll be working late. So, what about it?
What about what?
Oh, don't come all innocent with me. The Moathouse Hotel. You got Latimer's credit card and you've been dying to get inside my knickers for weeks. So, is it them bed springs?
I don't know what's got into her. Tracy, go back to the office right now.
What? Do it on the desk, you mean?
Oh, yeah. He was always trying to get me to do it on the desk when I was his secretary. But I wouldn't oblige, so he had me transferred to dispatch. Hey, we could always do it in the warehouse.
What? A threesome?
Yeah.
You sure you're up to it, Bill?
Me and all. He did promise, Bill Pet.
And me. Hey, don't you forget that dirty brochure you're always bringing in here.
Well, come on then, Bill. Women are like open wine bottles. You get us going and there's just no stopping us.
Women, they're all mad, aren't they? Present company accepted, of course.
Shall, you'll never guess what.
What?
Bill apologised this afternoon for sexually harassing me, and Sheila, and Anne, and half a dozen other women at Latimer's. And 10 minutes later, he was out on his ear.
Yeah!
The area manager was only having lunch with him to talk about redundancies. So when she heard what a scumbag he was out on his ear. Of course, I've got the elbow too, but I'm dead proud of myself for the way I handled it.
The way we handled it.
What's it got to do with you?
We showed him how women react to male shackles.
You mess with us, we mess with you. With 3 tons of horse mess.
Do what?
Who do you think it was that filled his motor with steam
That was you!
That was us, weren't it, partner?
You idiots! That weren't his car. That was Miss Dawson's.
He was driving.
She was driving. It was one of those import jobs. You know, left-hand drive.
Whoopsie-daisy.
No. Whoopsie on the dashboard. Whoopsie on the upholstery. Whoopsie in the stereo. She was furious. You didn't trust me, did you, Shal? It was Pamela Jenkins and the Brownies all over again.
Who's Pamela Jen? Tell me later.
I said I'd sort Bill out and I did.
Yeah. Good for you, Trace.
So why didn't you believe me?
Well, it was Thelma and Louise. They inspired us to come to your aid.
Who are they?
Look, we did it for you, Trace. We didn't enjoy a minute of it, did we, Dor?
Not even a microsecond.
Well, you can tell that to the police. Well, you didn't think Miss Dawson would give you 24 red roses for ruining her car, did you?
She's called in the police.
Of course. And they've got loads of witnesses. You reckoned you could sort out my problem. Now you can sort out your own, partner.
Well, think of something, Sharon. You can live with a criminal record. I'd rather die.
I'm thinking.
And?
And? I've heard Mexico's nice at this time of year.